The writing workshop that I developed is called Self-Stories. The most important thing to know is what it is not. And what it is not is it's not a class to teach people how to write their autobiographies. It's not about finding people who have had the most interesting lives and getting them to tell about it. It's not that at all. It's about trying to get people to write about the things that make them who they are. And those things are those really small moments that often we don't share with other people. The way I go about doing it is I introduce people to different literary genres. I might ask somebody, to write a letter to someone about their past, and that will force them to think about their experience differently. What would I say in a letter? Who would I write it to? What would it be about? Or we write poetry, write a poem about something, and that, causes you to think about, okay, what about my life would fit in a poem? And those are the spaces that you can write about those small things. That are very, very different than writing, here I was, and this is how I ended up where I am today. There's always this moment where people will start out and they'll play along and they'll kind of do what you ask, and they kind of think that maybe you're a little crazy for doing this. And then one day someone will read something in the group and it'll either bring people to tears or it'll bring this moment of joy, and then suddenly everybody's on the same page. And it's hard to describe when that moment's going to occur. It's usually during Poetry Week, just because I think poetry ends up being such a stretch for people. But you just see this connection, and I've seen it time and time again, and some students who have done this have had the same experience. And it just makes everything you're doing worthwhile. I mean, it reminds you that we're all humans and we all have these important lives, but it also reminds you that this matters. This means something in a way that it's affecting people's lives, and it's giving me chills thinking about it. It's an overwhelming feeling of being able to do that. Now I'm looking at ways to study how this approach can change social networking and social interactions. And so I'm now trying to build a grant based on that idea, that if we could do this kind of workshop, if we could train people to do it, especially in housing communities where, although there are lots and lots of people there, folks can remain feeling quite isolated. You've got a lot of familiar strangers. And so that's what I'm really passionate about right now. And what I'm hoping to do with the training video that the Franklin Foundation has supported is to be able to take this tool, train people to do this, go out in the communities and do it, and then do some assessments on whether it is in fact helping. And regardless of whether we can demonstrate that or not, I think it still provides people an excellent opportunity to connect. A lot of older people have said, there's no way for me to talk about what my future looks like. And I have dreams and plans and goals. Why does everyone want to hear about my past? And so one thing I want to do is make sure that I honor that, and that I give people a way to not only talk about things that have meant something in the past, but also to write about things that mean something in the future. That our lives don't stop just because we reach a certain age. And our futures don't stop either.